Hello everyone, this is the complete tutorial on the 2013 Talking Skull. We're going to cover all facets of programming the skull, the removal of the eyes to put in the LED eyes, and how to take it apart and put it back together again, and all the programming. So first off, what we're going to do is we're going to install the LED eyes. So LED eyes come completely made, ready to go from us, complete wired. You don't have to do anything but install them. The new PicoTalk controller has sockets for the LED eyes. There's no need for any resistor. The resistor is built right into the PicoTalk, and the new PicoTalk also runs on 5 volt, a 5 volt power supply. So it's now 5 volts only. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take our skull off the stand, and you're going to remove the 2 back screws. All you need is a Phillips screwdriver to do all the removal. There's 2 screws. So we're going to take these off. Do this fairly quickly to keep the time down on the video. I'm going to take those out. Take the back off the skull. It just pops right off, and it's done. Put that aside, and now inside you have all the interior of the skull ready to go, the PicoTalk, and then there's just 2 more screws, one here and one here. They have threaded inserts, so it's no problem to just take them out. One and 2. And all I do is you open the jaw slightly, and you just pull the whole interior of the skull out. Comes with the jaw and everything. So all we're going to do now is we're going to take the eyes from the skull, and all we're going to do is pop them off. 1, 2. They come right out. No need to do anything else but do that. Just come right off. Then you take your wired LED, and you'll see that the wire comes out on one side. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the plug-in and you're going to put it through the outside of the ring, through the ring on the outside, and then you're just going to slide the LED, the eye on, and make sure that where the wire comes through, that it's on the outside, and you're just going to pop that in. Done. And you're going to take your LED, and there's 2 socket plugs here, and you're going to, it's labeled red black, and you have to put the red and black in the right position on the LED. Just put that right in. It's done. Take your other eye, same thing. Push it through the outside of the ring. Just pull it through. Make sure that your wire goes on the outside. You push it in, and you make sure that the red and black are correct. So that's it. Now your eyes are in. You put them red and black. Make sure red and black are correct. Your eyes are in place. Everything's wired. You're ready to go. So all you do now is you take your skull plate, your skull. There's 2 slots inside that line up with the outside of this, and then there's a slot on the inside that lines up with this here. And all you do is you take it, open the jaw a little bit, and slide it right in place. Put your 2 screws back in the back here, which we're not going to do to save time. 2 screws back in, put your back on, but we're going to program now, so we want the back off. So we're going to put the skull on our little stand, close his mouth. So all you're going to need now is an audio source, which we're using an iPad, a speaker, a powered speaker, so you can hear the audio, and the Y connector that comes with it. So you get the Y connector that comes with the skull, because there's no more through. There's usually, on the old PicoTalk, there was an input and a through. Well, the through is gone, and it's replaced by the Y cable. So one end of the Y cable, the mini jack, goes to your audio source, and then one end of the Y section, the females, one will go to your Pico Talk and the other one will go to your speaker, and that way you can hear it. So all we're going to do now is in the back of the Pico Talk, we're going to plug in our audio source into the input. Then we're going to take our 5-volt power supply, 5-volt power supply, and we're going to plug that into the power. When we plug it into the power, we're going to hold down the red record button as we plug it in, and that'll let the light blink once. So the first thing we set on the Pico Talk, we're in record mode now when it's blinking once. We hit the button again, it starts blinking twice. And now we're going to start, the first thing you do is start by setting the limits of the jaw, the open and close. And the first one you set is the jaw close position. So we're going to set the jaw close position. And I like to set it till the teeth are just almost touching. And that's not bad. We hit the button again. The blinks start going sequential as you go along. So we hit the button again and we set the servo jaw to the open position. We set that around 90 degrees. You get lots of jaw open. The next thing we're going to set is the eye left-right movement. It doesn't matter which way you set it, but I like to look into the back of the skull, and I'll set eye left, and I just all the way left, and I just turn it back just a tad. Hit the button again, and set the jaw of the eyes right, and I set it back just a little bit, and then that's done. The next thing we're going to adjust is the eye sweeping motion. Either we want the eyes to sweep slowly. If you want them to go very slowly, you set it all the way counterclockwise. If you want them to go quickly, you set them all the way clockwise. So we're going to go all the way clockwise to make them go quickly. The next button is for setting the jaw sensitivity. Now the new Pico Talk has a new algorithm on it for the jaw movement. So the jaw movement now is very fluid. So if you set your eyes all the way in the quick motion, which is all the way clockwise for your trim pot, then that's set for the optimum movement of the jaw. So we add some audio now by hitting play. You see the jaw moves very fluidly. You don't have to make any adjustment here if it's all the way clockwise. So we're just going to get rid of that. Now we're going to start do the eye LEDs. We hit the button again and you notice the eyes light up. So the first thing you set is the eye brightness, because you can adjust the eyes how bright you like them to be. So you can put them all the way bright, or you can make them all the way off, or you can make them really, really bright, or really, really low. So we're going to make them just like a quarter way bright, just so you light up the irises. So once you set that, you hit the button again, and now we're going to set, what you can do is you can set it that the eyes stay on all the time, or they only come on when he talks, or a variation in between the trim pot. So we're going to make it so that they only come on when he's talking. You can turn it all the way the other way to the clockwise and they'll stay on all the time. We're going to make it so only when he's talking. So we set that all the way counterclockwise, and then we hit the button again, and now it's programmed. And that locks in the program, and you'll see that the eyes only come on when he's talking. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn the light out here so you can have a look at that. So as you can see, he's all programmed and ready to go. Now what you can also do, if you don't like the way the eyes are reacting light-wise, or the way they're moving, or the jaw sensitivity, you can change those three things without going into the full program mode by unplugging it and holding the red button down again. If you hit the button again now, it goes into a program mode where you're just adjusting a few things. So right now the first thing you're going to adjust is the eye sweep. So let's make it so the eyes go slower this time. So that's almost all the way counterclockwise. You hit the button again, you're adjusting the jaw sensitivity, so we need audio again. So we're going to keep that all the way clockwise. And then the next thing we're going to adjust is once again the eye brightness. So we're going to make the eyes a little bit brighter this time. So we're going to make them brighter. And we hit it again, but we're going to make them so that they only come on when he's talking. So we can make it a little bit brighter, but we'll do a little bit, so it stays on a little bit more. And you hit the button again, and you're all programmed again.
You know, I would say that you smell bad, but I don't actually have a nose. Hello! Thank you for coming!
See, so this time now you see the eyes are moving slower. They're not moving quite as quick. And the eyes, and we'll turn up the light again, and we'll get.
When my wife took my skin off my own head. You know I like donuts, don't you?
So now the eyes are staying a little bit longer when he's talking. The advancements in the Pico Talk is that it has the LED eye connections right on the top of the Pico Talk. They have built-in resistors, so it doesn't matter if you supply your own LEDs. You don't have to put a resistor on them. It doesn't matter what LEDs you use. These eyes take 3mm LEDs, and you can install your own LEDs. You don't need to put a resistor. You don't have to do any calculations. It's all inside the Pico Talk. The other thing that it does also is it has a sleep mode. So if the servos are not in any doing any motion, the servos will go to sleep so that they are not putting any stress on the servos. And the other advancement of the Pico Talk is it's a 5-volt power supply now. So the Pico Talk does not generate any heat anymore. So those are some great advancements, and there's no extra cost to you, the consumer. The other thing that we've done now is that the LED eyes are now available. And they come pre-wired. If you buy a Talking Skull, you can have the upgrade to have the LED eyes, and we put them in for you. But if you want to just buy the LED eyes, you can buy the eye with the LED built in it. So you can just have, if you want a Pico Talk and just want the eyes, you can do that as well. So you can have them separately.
Hello, and welcome to Movie Phone. It was a rainy day in Pictureville when my wife took my skin off my own head. You know I like donuts, don't you? Donuts. Don't.